Satan Azrael. He is one half of the NWA Anarchy Tag Team Champions, representing the Devil's Rejects, the Sleeper Cell, Shaun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is our featured contest. The Devil's Rejects and the Elite collide. On one side, you have the former Anarchy heavyweight champion, the Universal Soldier, Shatter. The opposition is one half, good Lord, of the Anarchy Tag Team Champions, the Sleeper Cell, Shaun Tempers. And what about what we saw right before the match started?
Greg Hunter, the partners were out here, but being ejected to the back by Jacob Butterworth. And right now, we've got a battle going outside the ring. And look at, there's Bailey to break up the count. This could have ended up very quickly in a double count out. Greg Hunter, this is a blood war that's gone almost 2 years.
It certainly has. The partners, Kimo and Azrael, were ordered out by referee Jacob Ashworth before the match ever started. And right now, Shatter taking the fight to one half of the Anarchy. One half of the Anarchy Tag Team Champion, Shaun Tempers. And oh God, he's on PTSD. No, he is not! Back body drop onto the entrance ramp.
Well, Greg Hunter, I mean, the thing about it is, you have to know that Dan Wilson, in the back of his mind, has told Shaun Tempers to try to take out Shatter, trying to remove him from any kind of semblance of being in the title picture that he possibly can, because if any one man can defeat Iceberg, it's the man we're looking at, the former champion, Shatter.
Shatter held that title for 7 months. He was the second longest reigning Anarchy heavyweight champion in history. And right now, aside from the fact that he is looking to regain that heavyweight title, you have to know that. But now, Jeff G. Bailey, between Shatter and Kimo, he has a very viable tag team threat for the Devil's Rejects to worry about as well.
Greg Hunter, many of great athletes have been members of the NWA Elite. Former world champions, guys that, you know, I mean, legends in the wrestling business. I mean, people that, you know, I mean, just the names of who's who in wrestling that's been a member of the NWA Elite. I will say, and I've said this before, I'm going to go on record and say it again, this Elite of Shatter and Kimo could quite possibly be the most deadliest combination ever in the history of Jeff G. Bailey and his NWA Elite.
And when one stops to consider that includes 3 former world's heavyweight champions of the NWA, that is an impressive statement to say the least, and I can't say I disagree. Cover here by Tempers and only a 2 count.
Well, Greg Hunter, the thing is, I mean, now one other thing you got to look at in this too. I know next week we're having a mega rumble to decide the #1 contenders for those NWA Anarchy Tag Team Championships. But could you imagine if Shatter was to get a pinfall victory or any kind of victory over Shaun Tempers here tonight? That would almost have to automatically thrust Shatter and the Elite into a very unique position. Shatter would not only be a top contender for the Anarchy Heavyweight Championship, but also him and Kimo could be top contenders for the Anarchy Tag Team Championship.
I think you have to consider the simple fact that Jeff G. Bailey now has 2 men under his charge. I think you have to consider them top contenders to any belt they so choose. That is how devastating an individual Kimo is. I have looked that man in the eye. I was in that ring when he came down in the introduction for this contest, and that is the definition of seeing your life flash before your eyes. Right now, Shatter, whose reputation and resume speaks for itself, is teeing off on one half of the Anarchy Tag Team Champions. He sends Timbers for the ride into the corner, scoops him up. Just the raw power of the Universal Soldier. Timbers slides off the back, looks for a clothesline, eats an elbow, and a big clothesline from the former heavyweight champion. Looking up for a lateral press, instead just rains punches down on the head of the sleeper cell.
Greg Hunter, I recently had a chance to visit Jeff G. Bailey, and I will concur with you about seeing your life flash before your eyes as we see a big power slam by Shatter and a near fall. Jeff G. Bailey would not let me have eye-to-eye contact with Kimo as I went to his house trying to get an interview. In fact, there was a partition wall there. I could see him. He couldn't see me through the glass. And Jeff G. Bailey said, maybe it's better that way for right now, so this man gets customized to an American style of living.
Fisherman suplex, 1, 2, and only a 2 count. Another weapon out of the arsenal of the Universal Soldier. That is one of the things that has made Shatter such a dangerous human being since he has joined the NWA Elite. The fact that every time you see him, he has a new weapon, something more devastating, another way to punish the human anatomy. That is what kept this man on top of NWA Anarchy, aside from his obvious physical gifts. For 7 months, he muscles up Shaun Timbers. Timbers, though, manages to get free and dumps the Universal Soldier to the arena floor.
Well, Greg Hunter, this is a big break for Shaun Timbers. I mean, to get somebody this size out to the floor, you're going to get a chance to catch your breath, but in turn, you don't want to give him enough time to catch his breath either. You got to stay on him.
That is exactly what the sleeper cell is doing. Right hand, make it 2, fighting. It looked as if they were coming over here towards the entrance ramp in our announce position. Instead, referees count to 6. The Universal Soldier nursing that back, trying to get back into the ring, but Timbers with a boot puts one through the uprights, and down goes the former heavyweight champion.
Well, Greg Hunter, you know, I don't find a lot of fault in anything that Jeff G. Bailey and Shatter do. But right there, that may have been just a half a second too much time wasted. I mean, this guy's one half of the Anarchy Tag Team Champions. This guy is a member of the Devil's Rejects. You're not in there with some bozo, and Shatter knows that and goes right after Shaun Timbers.
They're up on that second rope, precariously perched. Shatter with a power slam from the second rope. Referee Jacob Ashworth begins his count. Both men with their respective managers screaming encouragement, trying to get their men to their feet. Shatter moves first. Lateral press with a hook of the leg and only a 2 count.
Greg Hunter, all last summer, actually all of 2007 for the most part, we saw the Rejects and we saw the Elite in battles. We've seen that, you know, wars with all these men. And right there,
wait a minute! Down goes referee Jacob Ashworth. Shaun Timbers avoids the contact on that tackle, and now here comes Azrael. Jeff G. Bailey scurries to the locker room area, and there's Kimo. Looked like they were looking for the Hellhammer. Kimo with the big Samoan drop. Looking here to set up for the Beelzebub. Shatter reverses. PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder. Here comes Brent Wiley. Cover 2. That will do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, the Universal Soldier, Shatter.
Well, Greg Hunter, what rejects, lose the hands of the Universal Soldier Shatter, as Shaun Temper's that is. And look at Kimo just stalking Shaun Temper. I don't think he got enough. I think he's hungry. And the question is, what does this do to the already jumbled title pictures here in NWA Anarchy? Next week, we're going to kind of clarify who the #1 contenders are for the tag team titles. Right now, Shatter's on a mission. Will he get another shot at Iceberg in the coming months?